right, some promising news as the new Loan early this morning had a bluefin tuna, one bluefin tuna on the new Loan. In fact, I just talked to Sean Hardigan, who is a captain and crew member on board the Independence. They are fishing at San Clemente Island here today, and he confirms the fact that they had one bluefin tuna on the new Loan. So, can we build on this? Can we catch more? That, of course, will be the question going forward. But one bluefin on board the new Loan, we haven't seen a fish for several weeks. And hopefully this is the start of something really good. Check out the humongous rockfish and lingcod they are catching on board the California out of Ventura sport fishing right now. Giant fish, great eating, and lots of them. They have some great weather in the very near future, and you would be smart to jump on board the California, which many of you will recognize as the old Matt Walsh, a boat that operated for decades in Southern California. She is looking good, catching big fish and lots of them. Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474. Get on the California. Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, this gorgeous Sunday morning. It is so great to be with you all. It's a little bit chilly, and there's about 8 to 10 knots of breeze here this morning, but overall, it's a lovely day, and I feel blessed to be standing here on this beach with you all. All right, we saw a little sign on the bluefin tuna. What does it all mean? We'll check that out. What's going on in Ensenada? Is that great yellowtail fishing continuing? And the long range scene, my God, Captain Roy Rose on the Royal Polaris is putting together another magnificent trip. That guy just never ceases to amaze me. I checked in with my friend Diego Nuno on the Royal Star. We'll have some information on how their trip is going. Another long-range trip. We've had some great lingcod fishing. The Amigo put the wood to him yesterday, and we still see some halibut here and there and some humongous rockfish in the Channel Islands up there out of Ventura Sport Fishing. The Californian, the Island Spirit, the Endeavor, and many other guys are putting the thump on the big rockfish up in that neck of the woods. We'll have the surf fishing update and so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good Sunday morning, my friends. Oh, kind of warms me up. It's so good to be with you. Can't thank you enough for spending another morning with yours truly. That means so much to me. If you don't mind, hit that like button, share these videos with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that little bell, because when you do that, you'll be notified when there is new content. So if there's a sea bass bite or the albacore start to bite or the bluefin tuna come roaring back, you'll be notified and you'll be the first to know about the breaking news, not only here in Southern California, but all over the place as our coverage expands into the future. We are so happy to be here with you all. Hey, let's talk long range first of all. Then I'll get into the Mexico situation, because there's some good yellowtail fishing going on down there in that neck of the woods. But the Royal Polaris is putting together a magnificent trip. I think they're fishing Hurricane Bank, several fish up over 200 pounds, and they just keep doing it. Captain Roy Rose has been putting the hurt on Yellowfin and Wahoo, and it has been a magnificent trip. And they are finishing up, I believe, today. So they've been, I think it's a 16-day trip, might be a little bit longer than that, and they're going to finish up their fishing and then point their bow toward Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. I think their arrival is going to be Friday morning, and that is going to be something to see them unload. Wow, they are almost full on this trip, if not full. I think they got a little bit more room on board the RP, but a great trip for Captain Roy Rose. So happy to see him doing it once again. Also, I talked to my friend Diego Nuno, who is a deckhand on the Royal Star, born on the island of Cedros, lives in Ensenada. You know, Diego and I work together, sending thousands of pieces of clothing and food, medical supplies, and sporting goods to Mexico. We took care of the island of Cedros recently, then we took care of some impoverished areas around Ensenada. I'm headed down tomorrow morning with more clothing and food and a lot of other things. So we just keep trucking along, Diego and I. All right, anyway, back to the Royal Star. Diego says steady fishing. They've had fish up to 130 pounds, wide open fishing on the 25 to 60 pound and better grade yellowfin tuna. It has been great fishing on the Royal Star. So happy to see them putting the wood to it. All right, let's go to Mexico. I want to take you 140 miles down below the border to a little town, agricultural town called San Quintin, Baja California Norte, and that zone has been producing outstanding yellowtail action. Yes, again, they are biting wide open yellowtail for K and M sport fishing yesterday, and some pretty big grade fish. They have some fish that are, 8 to 12 pounds, but they have a lot of this stuff that's 15 to 20 plus pounds biting the yo-yo iron full speed, some surface iron fish, some big bonita mixed in with it, and of course they've got copious amounts of rockfish. The Ensenada bite, now we're going 70 miles below the border, has been absolutely spectacular. Lots of yellowtail and bonita, but it's been more hit and miss over the past 48 hours. The yellows just seem a little bit more reluctant to bite. Maybe it's boat pressure because they've been in the bay where the warm water has had them all accumulated. In other words, outside of the bay, up and down the Baja coast, it's pretty cold water, as cool as 55 degrees in some areas. So that 60, 62 degree water inside the Bahia de Ensenada has really brought all those yellows in there. But they have been getting quite a bit of boat pressure because they are so close. So it's sputtering a little bit. We'll see where it goes from here. Mixed with that yellow, and it's pretty good grade. Same thing as San Quintin. You get some of that smaller grade, you get some of that bigger grade. Mixed with it are these big bonita, 5 to 10 pound bonita. Really, really good. In the fallback, Victor's blackfin sport fishing yesterday, falling back on the rockfish, whitefish, sheep's head, and all of those great eating fish. So in either case, you're going to do quite well down there in Ensenada. And man, I'll tell you, the weather forecast is looking good. Talking to Louis Prieto from It's For Real Sport Fishing, he says Tuesday looks so beautiful. Looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day. So if you're headed to Ensenada, now would be a time to go. Bring your surface iron, bring your yo-yo iron, and be ready to rock and roll. Hopefully that yellow bite will come roaring back. But as I said, it has sputtered a little bit. Don't forget, it's tax season. And our dear friend Tim Marquez is standing by, waiting to help you. He's a great guy, a great family man, a guy that's helped us send a lot of clothing down to Mexico, puts in a lot of hours with us separating clothing and so much more. Give Tim a call at A Best Income Tax today, and he'll help you whether it's with past taxes or this year. And if you have heating and or air conditioning needs, there's nobody better than our friend John Lopez. John is a fantastic human being, and he will take care of anything and everything regarding heating and air conditioning, efficient heating and air conditioning. Say hi to John for me today. All right, let's get back to it and start talking about our bluefin tuna. Whoa, what is going on with this BFT? Still very difficult to find any volume of fish. On board the new Loan, they had that one nice fish, beautiful fish. I think they had a meter mark for 3 bluefin tuna, caught that one out of there, but the rest of the boats had 0. And then, of course, following that catch is some inclement weather, some windy weather, which made things very, very difficult. All the other boats, nothing on board the other guys that were out. I think there were another 5 guys, and the last 5 times the spotter plane has been up, he's seen nothing. So we have that one fish. Now, is the glass half empty or half full? Come on, let's make it half full. We caught a fish, let's build on it. Here we go, we're gonna get back into it. Those of you who are half empty said, it's one fish, man, in a couple of weeks. That's not looking too good. So there are 2 schools of thought going on right now, and only time will tell. Let's hope that bluefin tuna gets back in the picture here really, really soon. We'll be watching. Again, we're going to have some really nice weather here in the near future, so that can only help our cause with regard to the bluefin tuna. But they have been missing here in Southern California now, and we had the one fish on the new low, and hats off to them for coming up with that catch, and high hopes that we see even more fish here in the near future. We'll be watching that very, very closely for you all. All right, Coronado Islands, we've seen some yellowtail down there. The Liberty had 3 fish the other day, nice great fish, and rockfish to go along with that as we talk a little bit about the islands right now out at San Clemente Island. There's a few yellows bouncing around there and good rock fishing. Calico bass fishing slow in this cold water. We need that water temp to get up over 60, and then when it gets up to 65, those bass really like to bite. But we're in this cooler water kind of regime right now. Kind of the La Nina is taking hold. Last year in March, we saw water temperatures going up with the El Nino. This year, we see them trending down, cooler water right now. So we'll see where that leads us. On board the Amigo, 22nd Street landing, San Pedro, California. Limits on the Lincoln. What a great trip Mark Paisano Jr. had on board, and Mark Sonata, who works the deck, a dear friend, both of them dear friends of mine, and I love fishing on board the Amigo. Limits a rock fish to go along with it, a couple big sheep's head, a halibut, pretty nice day on board the Amigo, and those lings were exceptional. That is great to see that. The Pride also out of 22nd Street, 13 guys, 7 halibut, 4 lings, and good rock fishing to go along with it. The Pride has been focusing mostly on white sea bass and on halibut, and then trying to fill the sacks with the rockfish. Out of Catalina Island, the Pursuit, 22nd Street landing, continuing to do well. Should we say hi to Lupe? Is that her? I think it is. Good morning, Lupe. Yeah, I thought it was. Sneaking up on me. What's wrong with that, Lupe? Out here enjoying a beautiful stroll on the beach. Catalina, the Pursuit, with some really excellent rock fishing going on there. Can't beat that. The El Patron Long Beach Sport Fishing limiting out on the rockfish. April 22nd. On Mondays, they start their $125 fare to Catalina Island, limited to only 22 anglers. That is some pretty good stuff. And we've got some great trips that are almost sold out now on the El Patron, May 9th and May the 23rd. And then May the 31st, we'll be up there at Ventura Sport Fishing on the Island Spirit. Speaking of up there on the Island Spirit, those guys have been thumping the big rockfish here recently. The Californians, same thing. Now, they laid in because of the weather here yesterday, but hopefully they'll get back to it. And they've got some gorgeous weather, it looks like, for Tuesday for sure. The Californians, the old Matt Walsh, they do such a great job on there. Cody Rogers runs the boat. Man, they've got so many great people, including Ralph Burt down in the galley, and the guys on the deck are fantastic. California, you might want to think about going on a weekday. There's less people. The rock fishing's been fantastic. It's awesome. And the Island Spirit also will be out. You're going to want to jump on board with those guys. Again, the Endeavor out here recently on a recent trip had 12 halibut and some really good rock fishing. And they've been running some open party trips, and that is a rare opportunity for you to fish with the one and only Captain Tucker McCombs on the Endeavor. They have been doing fantastic. And of course, Cisco's, we had the Aloha Spirit out and several other boats doing really well all throughout this region. As I point out here, Newport Beach and Long Beach and San Pedro and Redondo and Marina del Rey, and the other way, we've got Oceanside and Davies Lock and Newport Beach. All of these guys have been enjoying some excellent rock fishing, no question about that. It has been phenomenal. Really great rock fishing for everybody, as this cold water is kind of keeping our surface bite down, but we're so blessed because you can fish as deep as you want right now, and those fish are such good eating fish. And for me, I love rockfish. I love catching rockfish. There's nothing better for me. Gale Force was at Catalina Island yesterday, and our my personal assistant, my camera guy, Mackie, was there having a lot of fun on board that Gale Force. He had a weather forecast of rain and wind, and he still braved the elements to go out and have a really good time. So that is great stuff. And once again, we just need this weather to come around a little bit of a breeze here, but that ocean looks good here this morning, at least on the local zone. It should be fine. Looking at the surf, we continue to see mostly a good barred perch bite, and the reason why is because barred perch love cold water. That's right, they're in this cold water. There is the occasional corvina. I saw one angler with some nice corvina the other day. He caught on the low tide. You can catch those beans on the low tide. Had some exceptional fishing doing that. And then also we continue to catch some sharks and rays and stuff like that. Michael Limon, yesterday. He was here with his grandpa, and then Mitchell came down, another great friend of ours, halibut man, and off they went to another zone, and Michael was catching some rays. He caught a short halibut. He was goofing off with crabs. They just had another fun day. And if you remember, Dan Limon caught that giant barred perch while I was doing the morning briefing yesterday. Must have been, an inch and a half. It was that big. Dan, great job. Hey, it was fun stuff. And always good to have Michael down here with us with his grandpa. Always good times, no question about that. Big Fish Bait and Tackle, they're giving away a free custom rod every single month. And this month it's for the biggest corvina. All you got to do is go to the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. Go in there, buy your ruler. They have a ruler that you're going to use. And you lay the ruler in the sand. You lay your catch on the ruler. You inscribe the date in the sand. Take a photograph, upload it to their beautiful Instagram page. That's the Big Fish Bait and Tackle Instagram page. And if you have the biggest corvina this month, you get a free custom surf fishing rod that's gorgeous, beautiful. You're going to love it. Don't forget, you can pick up all your bait and tackle and so much more at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. If I head to Baja, I'm going to definitely stop in there and grab a bunch of good surf fishing stuff before we cross over and do some surf fishing, maybe with Paulina, my co-host down there in Mexico Lindo. We'll see how this all works out. I'm still trying to plan this out, and we'll do it. Don't forget, during the daytime, we do have special updates. Sometimes we do remote hookups with captains from around the globe, and perhaps we'll have one for you a little bit later here today. We'll be watching that for you very, very closely. All right, bluefin. One fish, let's build on it. Let's keep our fingers crossed that there's going to be more. What a trip on the Royal Polaris. Amigo with limits of lingcod. I love that. Pursuit continues to do their thing at Catalina Island with the El Patron. Those guys have been doing really, really well. There is opportunities to catch lots of fish right now, mostly rockfish in Southern California, but we'll continue to watch it for you very, very closely. In the meantime, have a lovely Sunday, my friends. It's always great spending time with you, and I hope to see you really, really soon.
This May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, get ready for an adventure-packed weekend at the West Coast Outdoors Sport Fishing Expo. Taking place at the Ventura Fairgrounds, it's everything outdoors under the sun. Discover the latest in boats, explore thrilling charters, and dive into the world of RVs. Whether you're an avid angler or just love the great outdoors, there's something for everyone. For more information, visit sportfishingexpo.com.